To make our wine bottle cover, you want to measure the circumference of the wine bottle. You want to allow for room to move it around. So let's go ahead and measure our bottle. And as you can see, my bottle measures, I'm going to say about 13 inches. So I'm going to give it another half an inch. So I'm going to say it's 13 and a half. Now you're going to take the bottle, and then I'm going to outline the bottle using a pen. And now you want to measure how tall the bottle is, or how tall you want your fabric to be. So I've got mine. I want a little bit of a gather at the top. So maybe 2 inches at the top. And then I'm getting 15 and a half inches, so I'm going to say 16 inches in length. So you're going to cut out the circle, which is the bottom. You want to try it on for size. You set the bottle back inside of it, and you see it looks pretty good. I'm using a combination of a brown fabric, and I'm going to accent it with, I'm recycling an old dress. This is a sash from the dress, and I'm going to use it as decorative around to do the tie. Circumference is 15 inches, so I need it 15 inches wide and 16 inches long. So I'm going to just open the fabric up, and I'm going to measure off 15 inches. And there's my 15 inches, so I'm just going to put my little tape mark there. And I'm just going to come all the way down and do the 15 inches again. Okay, now I'm going to measure down 16 inches because that's my length. I'm going to measure my 16 inches, and my 16 inches falls right here. So I'm going to put my chalk mark right there. So I know I'm going to cut this off. So I'm simply just going to cut the square. Now you're going to take your scrap piece of fabric that you have, and you're going to cut out your circle. But when you cut your circle out, you've got to leave a seam allowance. So I'm just going to leave about a ½ an inch seam allowance all the way around. So I'm going to cut out my circle right where I made my little marks. Okay, so what we're going to do now is you want to finish off one edge. So I'm going to do a roll stitch, and I'm using a turquoise thread because I wanted to tie in with this sash that I'm going to put on the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and roll stitch the top edge. So I've done the roll stitch, and you see it's really pretty with that turquoise color thread. So now I'm going to sew my ½ inch side seam. And I went back and I stitched a little closer to make mine a little bit more tighter. So now you want to take your circle, and you're going to, since this is the right side on the inside, you're going to find the right side. And what I like to do is I like to fold these in half and then fold them again. And I like to put little clip marks at the folds. And what this does, it just helps you to center it. Okay. I'll take my bag and I'm going to fold it over to the seam there as well. And then that gives me a center point, and I'm going to clip here as well. So now it doesn't matter where you start because you've got clips. So now you're going to take your right side. Make sure I got my right side. And I'm going to pin it down. I got it pinned in place there. And then I'm going to come over to the other side. Now you're going to come and match it up. I'm going to clip it, pin that. And then you're going to bring the other clip together. Okay, now what you're going to do, the rest of it, you're going to force it in and just pin it in place. Now we're going to sew this together. When I sew it together, I like to sew with the circle side down. We measured a 1/2 inch is what we left extra. So we're going to sew a 1/2 inch seam allowance. And as you sew, don't forget to remove your pins. So you see, I've got my circle sewn in, and if you wanted to, you can cut off some of the excess. That'll let the bottle lay down in there a little neater. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and press my bag down, not leaving any creases, but I want to press this seam flat right here. So my bag has been pressed, and so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to insert my wine inside of the bag. And the sash has been finished, and so now we're going to take the ribbon and I'm going to tie it around the wine bottle. And so I'm going to go ahead and tie a little bow. This easy, simple, do-it-yourself wine bag that can be made in a matter of minutes. I hope that it's been helpful. You'll have to make a ton of these for family and friends. They make a great gift. So I hope that you try this. Happy sewing!